what steps could they take, or how would you introduce the idea of living educational theory to people who are just starting off in their careers, perhaps?
Well, I've noticed that some people come into teacher education. Um, Now, some don't know, if you like, what they want to do. So they've just come into it. It's just by chance, they're just registering, but they're not really committed to it. Um, and some of them, they come to the end of that course without that commitment. Now, the people that I suppose really fascinate me and that I work with are those that show some degree of commitment, in the sense that the values of education really attract them. And even though they're only about to begin to engage in the practice, that where I always start with someone is just talking about what in their experience do they want to do when they come into education, because the majority of people often feel something could have been done better with them in schools or universities. And they often tell you about the teachers that actually meant most to them, about paying attention to them, valuing who they were and what they were doing. So that's where I always start, by getting them to reflect on their past experiences of education. And of course, if they're 21, 22, they've got a many years of experience of teaching, and some of it has not been helpful to them. So that's where I always start, with that sense of attention, or in my language, a living contradiction, where something could be better. And just with talking with people about that, it evokes often that passion for why they want to come into education. They want to actually improve matters. So what they felt didn't go as well with them as it could have done, they want to actually do something so other people don't go through that.
Okay. Is that what you mean when you use the term living contradiction? Is that what you mean, Jack?
Yeah, it's the feeling which I had when I first videotaped a lesson. This was in 1972, when I was given a video recording, one of the first in London, to explore in my teaching. And I turned it on myself. And I had a great shock, because I thought I got inquiry learning going with my pupils, in where they were asking me the questions and I was responding. Whereas the videotape showed that it was quite subtle the way I was doing it, but I was giving them the questions to answer. Now, that feeling that you're not living the values that you hold as fully as possible is one that a lot of teachers have actually told me about. And that was what was my living contradiction. You believe certain values, but you're not living them as fully as you can in your practice. And that creates a tension and stimulates your imagination to start to work out how to improve your practice.